Good after morning. How are we doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/iScrumPulse. My name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by this guy.
Hi, that's me.
That's Bibby. I'll read.
Hello.
I'll read, Bib. Have you gone onto Twitter, Bib, and shared the Ice Cream Uploads Go Live posts?
I posted them, sharing them. No.
Well, this is good
Which I will do now.
Because I haven't done that either, but I'm using this opportunity to go straight onto twitter.com/Ice Cream Uploads. Go to the latest tweet that says live now. 2K is making a football game. And then I'm quote tweeting that with a live and then just hitting tweet on it. So I've just done it. It's just gone out now. If anyone else is watching this, do feel free to do the same. Go to Twitter, go to Instagram, hover all of the places. We do put out social media content across all of our channels whenever we do go live, letting you know that we are live for The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. If you are on the social channels, we would appreciate anyone sharing any of our posts when we do go live, because it does help us get a little bit of traction. And as you know, with any sort of back and forth podcast, it works better if you have someone to give back and it's not just all forth. So you letting people know that we're live gets more people in the stream so we can have more of a conversation. And if you don't know what we're conversing about, well, don't worry. I am just about to tell you. So as mentioned, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we go live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday, bringing you this big old show. We will bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We will give you our thoughts and impressions on those big breaking stories. We then want to hear your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how this works. So if you're in the stream, please do feel free to get involved. And it is incredibly important that you let us know what you're thinking, because the live stream gets turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. So there's lots of places where over 105,000 people have watched and listened to this show on demand. So it's your job to keep those people in the loop. Plus, we just want to hear what you're thinking. Anyway, we do all the things. You might have seen that a bunch of people have invested in these things. This is the ICU blackout baseball cap. A bunch of people have already invested and had their orders confirmed for that. So not only do we provide world-class merch alongside world-class video game commentary, but we also provide world-class content alongside that too. If you haven't seen it yesterday, we shared the first ever look at the ICU Championship belts. So we have a belt in commemoration of WWE 2K22 hitting the shelves, the stores, the digital stores, all of the places next month. March the 11th, it comes out, and we will be playing a lot of that game. So naturally, we decided to go full ice cream and got ourselves a championship belt. If you haven't seen that, you can see that on our hover. That's hover.gg/Ice Cream Uploads. Funnily enough, that's just like all of our social channels. You can see a video there. We cut up some nice little panning shots and stuff yesterday, and we shared that yesterday. So if you want a little bit of a close look, do feel free to check that out. Anyway, babe, how are we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Graham. I'm doing well. I figured out how to use the air conditioning in here. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, the air conditioning, but it's a unit that you can put onto hot as well. And because we haven't been in the studio and used it for so long, it took a while to warm up this morning. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a bit warm in here now. So I may have to go and turn it off during one of the segments. But I'm infinitely better than I was yesterday, because it was freezing in here, and it has been for the last 3 weeks. We've been back in the studio nearly full time. So yeah, I'm feeling good, man. How about you? Something about our tweet that yesterday seemed to have banged.
Yeah. The fact that we shared our title belt, by the way, just check out Hover, because it looks like the last 2K making a football game post has gone out twice. So to delete it.
Is it?
Delete.
It's been playing up all morning, to be fair. I tried to post a video this morning. It kept on saying failed to connect to stream. I'm like, I'm not streaming, mate. Anyway.
Well,
yeah, well, just
yes. So yeah, I've dropped the link to the belt in the chat. When we shared our first picture of that on Twitter yesterday, 2K UK and 2K Global both interacted with our tweet. So that tweet has done bits. If you haven't seen it, let me drop you a link to that one too. There it is. As it stands, we're currently on 213 likes, which for our little channel, that's massive. So there you go.
Yes.
There is the link to the tweet. That is our first post announcing that we have have the ICU Championship belt. If you haven't seen the Championship belt, that tweet has it for you. If you can't load up that tweet because you're watching on a mobile device or something like that, don't worry. I got you. This is the ICU title. There you go. Custom made leather belt, all of the metalwork and adorned with actual real jewels and absolutely not fake jewels, just to give it a visual effect or anything. It's not absolutely not costume jewelry whatsoever. Yeah.
Anyone carrot magic in the air? Sorry, in the belt.
So it looks badass. Is the simple way to put that. It does. It looks shit hot. So yeah, we're happy to be able to finally share that. It's been a long time coming. We had it made up last year, but then obviously 2K decided to delay WWA 2K22 to give themselves a little bit more time. So it's just been sat waiting for us. So we do have the belt, as you can see. And we'll be competing for it. So stick around. If you do want some good sports entertainment content, then do feel free to stick around because yeah, we should hopefully have some good stuff coming for you within the next couple of weeks. Nice. My daughter loves the belt because Stone Cold said so. Yeah. Let's go,
Dead
Tazebad.
right.
Tazebad says, hi all, still waiting on a price, please. I mean, we could tell you right now if you want, but we just didn't want to share financially stuff on the stream. So we do have the price for you. So we will be messaging you directly with that stuff, so you'll know exactly what it is. Oh yes, okay.
Literally straight after this.
Yes. Do you want? Okay. Well, it was 25 something. So we've absorbed as much as we can, but it'll be about 25 something. Maybe it has the figures, but yeah, it was something like that. So yeah, there you go. That's what it will be, including costage to Australia. That's not postage. That's everything. That's the hat plus the postage. So yeah, if you're happy with that, fine. If not, then that's pounds, by the way. Sorry. So yeah, if that's too much, that's fine. Don't worry. We get it. It's international delivery makes everything a little bit more expensive. So we understand. But yes, there you go. CrossGod, good morning. How are we doing, CrossGod? How is your Wednesday? I had to check it was Wednesday then, just as I was saying that. That's why I looked down just to make sure. Because yesterday felt like Wednesday, and that was only a Tuesday, so yeah. Anyway, let's go through what we are going to be talking about today. Let me give you a couple of things first. Before we jump into any news, let me remind you that all subscribers to Ice Cream Uploads could bag themselves a prize. Anyone that is a sub gets included in our loot drop. Exclamation mark loot drop, if you don't know what that is. Basically, we give a prize to one subscriber every month. Last month, it was 40-year-old Merc King who bagged himself an Ice Cream Uploads baseball cap before we announced that we had them. This month, it's going to be an Ice Cream Uploads baseball cap again, but you will obviously get it much more quicker than 40-year-old Merc King because he's had to sit around and wait for his to be boxed up and stuff like that. But yeah, you guys will get one too. So whoever is a sub on Monday the 7th will automatically be included into that. You don't need to do anything else, just be a sub. That's it. Tier 1, 2, 3, Prime, Gifted, doesn't matter. Everyone's included. As well as that, let me remind you of exclamation mark Lotus, and that will give you a link through to the Triggermeister, because not only is he in stream doing admin things, even though he's not a mod on the channel, which we appreciate, thank you very much. He's not even a VIP, although he is a VIP. He's just not a VIP because he's saving up for mod privileges, and I don't want to throw him VIP-ish down I don't want to take away his end goal, but he is a VIP. So yes, anyway, exclamation mark Lotus. The reason I say that is because tonight we will be playing PUBG. Myself and the Triggermeister will be live from 6:30 p.m. We do that every Wednesday, chasing crates with mates. But we will also be joined by Big Ham, who is live right now. So when we finish the stream, we will drop a little bit of a raid on Ham because he is live. Mod priv, I know, right? He's saving up for it. He's saving up for the mod privileges. He's It's a long way to go, and he's a good way into it. So I didn't want to upset the apple cart, but it's fine. Yeah, 120k away. Okay, still quite a while. 112k. Oh wow, you just got 8k that quickly. That was well fast. That's it, mod before the end of the stream. So yes, we will be live from 6:30 p.m. tonight. Myself and Lotus chasing crates with mates, with a little side of Ham as well. So do feel free to join us for that. As mentioned, do stick around for the raid at the end of the stream as we drop into Ham. Before that, though, we are going to talk about a bunch of things from the video games industry, like the fact that 2K Games has reportedly started development on a football game.
Woo!
Spicy made the ball. I mean, that's something we've wanted for a long time. We didn't think it would ever happen. Turns out it is. However, there is a big old caveat because it's not just straight up football. There will be no Manchester United or Man Red, no Merseyside Blues, any of that sort of stuff, because this is going to be a Lego football game. Plus, there are also racing games in development. That's the story that we will start off with. We'll then jump into the fact that Call of Duty has been cancelled. Ish.
No.
Ish. It's not. It's not. Apparently, we spoke about this previously, but more evidence to suggest that Call of Duty is reportedly skipping its annual release next year. So no Call of Duty 2023. We will still get Modern Warfare this year. That has been announced, but not next year, which is actually pretty exciting for me because I'm a big Modern Warfare fan. That doesn't mean we're not going to get 9 to 10 months of Modern Warfare and then jump back to World War II again. So yeah! Okay, we'll put a pin in that one. And then after that, sticking with the whole Call of Duty landscape, but not specifically Call of Duty, a law firm representing Activision Blizzard claims unions exploit employees who are whiners and complainers. The law firm also thinks that malingerer is an acceptable word to use in 2022. What a tagline. After that, we'll jump into the fact that Bethesda is closing its PC game launcher and moving to Steam. And even though it's only the 23rd of February, we can tell you exactly what March's PlayStation Plus games are going to be already. Still a week and a bit. Usually it's about the 2nd of the month. So we're early. We're early, but we can tell you exactly what next month's PS Plus games are. So if you're a PlayStation user and you want to know what free games you'll be getting, we usually do Free Game Friday, but this is Free Game Wednesday. So there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Bib.
Yes, Graham.
Lego? Yes or no?
Lego. Yeah, I love Lego games.
Football? Yes or no?
Yes. Soccer ball, big fan.
Lego soccer ball? Yes or no?
Huge thumbs up from the Bib.
Interesting. Well, that's good to know because Joshua Robertson of The Gamer says 2K reportedly has Lego football and racing games in development. 2K has reportedly signed a new partnership with Lego and has multiple games in the works. The body of the article says it has been reported that Lego is looking to branch out after its exclusivity deal with Warner Brothers and TT Games expires and has signed a new partnership with 2K to release several new titles over the next couple of years. First reported by VGC, 2K will be overseeing the development of 2 new Lego games, one of which is a football/soccer Lego game that is due to release close to the World Cup later this year. This title will allegedly be developed by Sumo Digital of Little Big Planet fame and will be the start of a new line of Lego sports titles. The second title in the report is allegedly going to be an open-world Lego racing game from WWE 2K developer Visual Concepts. While there is no pre-existing Lego football games, there was a little-known franchise called Lego Racers, which first released back in 1999. It's possible that this new racing game could be a return to the series. As for Lego's current partnership with TT Games, VGC reports that Lego does not intend to extend its partnership beyond its expiry date and will publish one more game with the developer after the launch of Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker just making sure I read that right. We'll publish one more game with the developer after the launch. Okay, so there's another one after Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. Reports of workplace abuse at TT Games and a slip in sales of recent Lego games have reportedly had a hand in the split. Lego's decision to broaden its output of games is apparently due to the company putting more of an emphasis on the gaming side of its business. It's very clear to see that Lego's interest in the gaming industry has increased over the past couple of years, collaborating with publishers like Nintendo and games like Horizon Forbidden West to try to entice new customers. And we'll end it there. We will end it there. 2K reportedly in the race. See that pun? Is that pun?
Nice work.
Because
we did that.
Racing games, yeah. From now, they're going to kick on with development. Because football games. Okay, babe, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting because we seem to have got a massive influx. I'll tell you what, 1 second. You ready for this?
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hi, Graham. Let's get up close on personnel.
I will say that there is definitely audio differences from scene to scene. We said we weren't sure if that was a thing, but your mic. I mean, you don't need to touch it. I can change the levels at this end if you want, because you obviously
levels.
So, but yeah, there definitely is differences. But do you know what? I must admit. Let me just jump into Big Bib Cam. Big Bib Cam. You look like you sat on some sort of game show there. Like Celebrity Squares or something like that. And now we have.
It's good to be here, Graham. I'd like to say hello to my mum, to my wife. Don't forget to put the kids to bed.
Okay, Bib. One important question. Obviously, you've got your Ice Cream Uploads laptop and your big cuddly ice cream cones in the bag already. The question that everybody wants to know is: Are you gonna stick with those prizes, or are you gonna gamble? Gamble.
I've had a good day. I've had a good day out. I think I'm going to gamble, Graham.
Hey!
And you've lost your job. See you next time.
Sorry, yeah, it looked like you were about to keep the job, but no, unfortunately, no. Exclamation mark horn. Fuck me, that's louder than I expected. What?
It does make my hair look deader than it actually is. I mean, it is pretty dead. I've not had an haircut for like 2.5 months. It's like lockdown trim.
The boof. Anyway, sorry, distracted. Babe, 2K reportedly got Lego and football racing games. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see what a Lego football game looks like. We are getting a rebirth in football games at this moment in time, whether or not it's mobile versions of games. I did see another one this morning. It's like Total Football or something it's called. It looks like the PES mobile game.
Yeah,
it genuinely
absolutely.
looks like
full-on face scans, ripped. Yeah, seen that.
They have ripped the entire code out of it. For me, it looks like they've ripped the PES manager off, because it's not there anymore. It's now defunct. It's like they've just taken the code from that and created a football game from it. They've got Viva La Football coming out as well. There's just so many different football games on the market. Why wouldn't Lego want to get into it? We've currently seen, we will be seeing Mario make a return to the footballing scene with Mario Strikers at some point as well. So, yeah, I want to know what a Lego game looks like. How is it going to stand out from the rest? Like, what are they going to give us that we don't already have in other football games? Because I think that's what I'm trying to get my head around. Like, the Lego games itself as an adventure are fantastic. I love those. I'm super looking forward to the new Star Wars version of it. But what does a sports game look like in Lego? Like, are you going to have online play? Are you going to have a pro clubs mode? Are you going to have a Master League? Like, what does a Lego? Is it just going to be an exhibition stuff and it's going to cost maybe £10? Is it going to be priced accordingly? Like, I have so many questions, and these are only rumors at this moment in time, aren't they? If I remember reading the article and listening to you, I think they're only rumors.
The thing is, it's a rumor that's come back again, that was picked up by VGC, and we know VGC tend to put in their legwork. Obviously, they will comment on rumor because quite often rumor is exciting news, and they make news that people want to read as well as inform people. So it could just be rumor, just come out of nowhere. However, this isn't the first time this rumor has come around. We did get early sniffs, not to this level of detail. Like, this is naming that Sumo Digital will be the developers. Visual Concepts will be working on racing games. We've never had that level of detail before, so this is still just rumor, but it's interesting. It's interesting. The thing for me though is, how far does this go? Like, to Matrix reference, I want to know just how deep the rabbit hole goes, Neo. Fuck me, give me the details, because 2K making a football game is something that everybody wants. Just because we know 2K nail NBA 2K. So if we can get EPL 2K or something like that, naturally there's all sorts of issues and stuff with that, and we're always a bit wary, because getting a 2022 ready football game, and I'm saying that in terms of esports ready. People go, okay, your game's good, but is it esports ready? Okay, your football game's decent, but is it 2022 ready? And that phrase, I've just coined that, by the way, you're welcome. That phrase is it comes off the back of, we've all been playing football games for 20 odd years. If your football game doesn't hit the ground running, no pun intended, then you're already a step behind. You're already League One, League Two level kind of thing. When we've already got games that quite easily sit at the top of the Premiership, using football analogies. If you don't know what watch football, basically, if your game's not great, it's going to be shit, which is kind of obvious a little bit, but it's difficult to hit at the top of that. So I wonder if by disguising football behind Lego, that allows you to come at it like a Minecraft sort of thing. Oh, okay, if it's a little bit quirky, a little bit rough around the edges or whatever, it's a Lego game. It's not meant to be real simulation, but they could still also be learning. So my rumor mill, my mind sort of like is now working like, is this just Lego? Or is this like the early tests? What are your thoughts, babe?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if 2K was to get into it. I've just seen Chapper's comment in there saying as well that he actually had an insider scoop on this for months, but he thought it was bollocks because he knows someone who works at Sumo Digital who told him that they was looking at making a Lego football game, but he waved it off as bullshit. Which, to be perfectly honest, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
You wouldn't expect it for this to come to fruition. So I don't blame him for doing that. It's just we're gonna get to a point where it is going to the rumor mill's going too fast for us to go, do you know what? I think this has actually got some legs. There is a bit of traction here. We are going to be seeing this. But again, I'd love to see what a Lego football game looks like, because I think it would just be a little bit batshit crazy. But there needs to have substance. I would absolutely love to be able to play it, but they need to have something for me to keep on coming back to play it. Because I don't want it to just be something that, I'm going to go around to my 6-year-old nephew's house and he's going to be buzzing because he wants to play a Lego football game with me. Like, am I going to sit there for 3 hours playing it with him? Probably not. Does it need to have something where we can have a co-op season and have something there? Like, that would be amazing. They need to have something more than it just being a football game with Lego, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I can see it being a little bit of that. If I'm going off of what we get in Lego games, we get bouncy, cutesy fun, but with really well-made games. Lego games look like they should be like, okay, that's it, I'm bored. But they actually work very, very well. There's multiple levels to it. You've got the cute stuff that's easy to pick up and play, but then you have the intelligent puzzles and stuff that go with it. Just well-made games, generally. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, we're going to get that. We're going to get a football game that looks cute, that's shiny. You've got the Lego stuff around it. I did see an image on social media, which wasn't an image of the game. It was just, I think it was like some minifigs that people had put together. And there was like a Paul Pogba, Neymar, and Lionel Messi. It might have been on VGC's tweet of it, actually. And I'm thinking we might get that sort of stuff. We might get a couple of heroified minifigs if we have a story element. So not so much like having a career mode, but we might have story mode. Because Lego games are quite synonymous with stories. However, that tends to be TT Games. And this isn't TT Games. This is Sumo Digital, completely different brand. But then again, Sumo Digital make Little Big Planet. So Sumo are experienced at doing story games, experienced doing co-op play, and experienced at doing world building. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be bits of that, like build your own Lego stadium, build your own team, create your own kits, and that sort of stuff. And then having it almost like the Flash browser games that you'll get, where it's just very simple, like 3v3, 5v5 or whatever. Maybe it does go up to 11v11 if they're trying to put it out alongside the World Cup. But I can see it being maybe even 2v2, just something that's simple. I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking less arena sports and more FIFA Street, but Lego Street, but not
it's going to be arcade.
Yeah, I think
it's not going to be a simulation. Let's be honest.
It's Lego, yeah.
A Lego football game simulation. It can't be too deep either. I think it might only be like maybe a 2 or 3 button game. Like, you're probably not going to use your triggers or anything. Maybe there might be some power ups that you might be able to activate or something. But in terms of a football game, it's going to be over the top arcade game, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I reckon so. Wouldn't be surprised if we get power-ups and shit. Also, wouldn't be surprised if we didn't. The Lego can go either way, anyway. Everything, like the thing with Lego, it's anything you can think of. and everything you can think of, but also nothing as well. So it could be just, you can go to, like, look at Lego. You can have Lego architecture where you can literally just build the Sydney Opera House. Okay, that's it. Great, nice. Or it could be Star Wars, where you have full interactive Star Wars universes. It's recreation / imagination. So they could go for recreation of real world football, but in a Lego vibe, which is just the players like being stupid, making stupid noises, and then playing as you'd expect. The simple functions, crosses, volleys. You're probably not going to get like trick sticks and super like 1-2 touches and stuff like that. You might have lofted modifiers to get like a lofted through ball, early cross maybe, but beyond that, I don't think we'll go too much more in that. I'm intrigued. I think I would enjoy it. The only thing that then brings me back down a bit is, okay, we've got FIFA, eFootball in various guises. We have mobile versions of football games. We have UFL, and there's another one. What's the other one? That's Goals, yeah. So Goals game as well, plus that other one there, and Mario Strikers, and now Lego Football. We went from just having 2 football games to now having every football game ever. So it just feels like, is it just the World Cup? Stay frosty, yeah.
Why do seagulls fly over the ocean? Because if they flew over the bay, we'd call them bagels.
No. I would, I genuinely would be laughing at that a little bit harder, but I've heard that one before, so I'll give you a half pat. I'm not going to let you see the other hand. I'll just give you one. There you go. Nice. Why do seagulls fly over the ocean? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels. Nice. Show with almost 2 years. 23 months. That's ridiculous. Thank you very much, Show. I appreciate that. Also, Show, a wild Bibby tells me that you may be dropping in on his house this weekend. Am I allowed to say this? Oh, too late. I've said it. Never mind. So yeah. I did say to Bib that if you were coming from Scotland, I'd be like, oh, bring me some haggis or a can of iron brew or something like that. Or down south, it'd be like, yeah, bring some jelly deals and stuff. You're coming from Brum, so yeah, I'm all right. Cheers, mate. Ta. Thanks.
I'm almost. You know what? I'm going to agree with you. Just bring yourself, please.
I mean, you don't even have to do that, mate. I'm joking. We love you. We love you. So yeah, he can bring you knife crime. To be fair, it's I'll bring a proper bag of chips. No, you're all what? You stopping off in Yorkshire on your way over the Pennines? What is it? I don't understand. That's kind of the wrong way. I don't get what you're doing. God. Chappers knows that Yorkshire has the best chips. It's factually correct. It's factually correct. I mean, Lancashire can contest with gravy. I won't say it's better, but I will acknowledge their opinion. But yeah, no. If you want struggle food, Yorkshire is the birthplace of struggling. So we got you. But yeah, I appreciate that 23 months. Thank you very much. Sure, what do you think? Lego Football. Are you interested? Give me the details. What do you think? Lego racing games, I'm less excited about because it's a racing game, naturally. I am excited about the fact that Visual Concepts are going to be working on multiple projects with 2K, which that's a good thing for just getting skilled up workforces. Not that Visual Concepts ever weren't skilled, but they've had to skill up a lot in the WWE sense really quickly. And from all intents and purposes, it's looking like they are smashing that. So if they're working on multiple different projects of varying scales, racing versus wrestling, words that might sound similar but are completely different concepts, then the Visual Concepts, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So that's a good thing for 2K. And the broadening the portfolio, because obviously you take away the sports bits and then it's kind of just GTA-ish. I know obviously we've got what's it called? Just brought out a definitive edition, but not GTA, the ones before that. Mafia. So we've got the Mafias and the likes, but I like to see 2K just adding a few regular bigger brand stuff under their hat. So nice. Nice. I like an arcade footy game, so I'll definitely give it a play for sure. I mean, to be fair, we did start. What was that? what was the one that we played on PC that we said we'd go back to, like in the last World Cup and never did?
It's like a Super Arcade Soccer or something.
Yeah, see, that was awesome. See, if
was.
Lego Football gives me a bit of that, then I'll take it. It's not going to be a game that I play all the time. It's not going to be a game that I main. It's not going to be a game that I think, I'm going to have to definitely come back and play a long chunk of that. But it's a game that once you start it, it's like, okay, as soon as you turn it off, it's kind of gone, but you're left with that, okay, that was fun. And it brings the fun. It isn't the fun, but it brings the fun. And it's one of those games that just allows you to enjoy yourself around it. Like Among Us doesn't really do anything, but it brings you the ability to have fun with your friends. That's kind of what this sort of game is. The game doesn't necessarily give you the fun, it just unlocks the fun in yourself, so to speak. So, yeah.
That's really from the heart, that.
Oh,
It unlocks the fun within yourself. What's better than that?
Oh, 1 second. My Dunkin' Donuts has arrived. Nice. Oh, don't know if Danielle's got it. She might have it. I don't know.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, wait,
Bastard.
I think she's got it. Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts and a nice iced latte. Let's go. That's what happens when you live so close to Manchester City Centre. Uber Eats, baby. Okay, 2K reportedly has Lego football and racing games in development. If you missed it, apparently not confirmed yet. 2K has signed a new partnership with Lego. They had an exclusivity deal with Warner Brothers that has elapsed. Elapsed? Is that the right word? It sounds like it, but it also doesn't. It's elapsed. Time has elapsed.
It's lapsed. It's finished.
I don't know. Ended. There you go. Nice. Let's move on. It's ended. So yes, the deal is over. So they are branching out and they're looking elsewhere and they're looking at 2K. The downside for this is expire. Yeah, that's a good one. The downside with this is that I would have liked to see Warner Brothers doing a sports game, not because of the Lego element, but because Warner Brothers is making Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy. And if we get Hogwarts Legacy and we've got Warner Brothers already doing sporting mechanics at a simplistic level, then that fucking next-gen Quidditch game that I've wanted for 3 generations, yes, please, but it's not. So it's probably going to be at least another generation before we get that. Unless, modders, if you're watching this, keep your eyes out for Hogwarts Legacy coming out. It's like September time, rumoured. If it is, then if you want to modders a Quidditch game in there, yes, please. Quidditch 5-a-side, let's go, baby.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Surely they've done one of those games. Like, it might have been on the PS2 or something, but surely there's been a Quidditch game. It has to have been. There's no way in God's green earth, in a Harry Potter world, that there hasn't been a Quidditch game. It might have been Toilet.
There has been Quidditch modes within games. I don't know if there has been a specific standalone one. There might have been on like PS2 era, maybe, but nothing that anyone's ever really written home about, kind of thing. So yeah, a full Quidditch game with like good responsive, because the thing that I imagine from a Quidditch game is it's gonna be like lock-on stuff. There's not gonna really, because it kind of has to be. On football, if you misplace a pass, oh well, you just go pick it up. On Quidditch, you misplace the pass, then it's like to the floor down below, and then I've got to fly down and pick that up again now. Oh god damn it. And then you've got the inertia stuff. Like, whenever you've done any sort of like broom riding stuff in video games before, it's super slow. It's like you sat on a plank of wood on an ocean wave, just going woo, woo, and you need like fucking So it's probably not going to be great.
It's
probably
a game of quick time events.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like, ooh, is he going to make the pass? Boop. Oh, you missed it. Oh, no. Oh, you've got another bite at the cherry. Ooh, boop. Oh, you missed it. Your pass went awry. Slytherin picks up, and it's like, oh, dear. So, yeah. Oh, there you go. Facts. Joystick Junkies dropping in. Yes, Quidditch World Cup game on PS2. See, I said I thought there might have been something on the PS2. But it
does think of a PS2 shovelware game.
It does, yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a film coming out. Let's put a crap game on the PS2. Joystick Junkie says it came out in 2008. Thank you very much for the facts. That's what we like to see. Lego football, will they not break the ball when it's kicked? Depends. I mean, just imagine that. And then having to build the ball together on the penalty spot kind of thing. Oh, one second. Just putting it back together again. Fuck. Tito, good after morning, Tito.
After morning.
Goblet of Fire says, oh no, yes, says Lotus, who was watching, was it Goblet of Fire you watched last night? My favourite Harry Potter film, that, by the way. Goblet of Fire, you see them go to Quidditch World Cup, but don't get to see the game, which sucks. Yeah, you get to see a little bit of, like, the Irish pre-match celebrations, but then it all goes to shit. So... awesome film. Yes, please. Quidditch World Cup. We'll have that one, please. Non-shovelware. Thank you very much. But you know what? I've said this before quite a few times. Anyone that's played Final Fantasy X, there is Blitzball within that.
Yeah.
I spent more time playing Blitzball than I did playing Final Fantasy X. So if you can give me a game that's... I mean, that was probably a little bit shovelware, to be fair. But if you can give me a game that's that substantial enough, then yes, I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So to recap, 2K is reportedly has a Lego football and Lego racing games in development. Not confirmed, so take with a pinch, although this rumour has grown. It's not the first time we've heard this, and there is some pretty substantial details with it, so it looks kind of likely. Tell you what else looks kind of likely. Call of Duty missing a year. This has been written by Matt Wales at Eurogamer, and it says Call of Duty reportedly skipping its next annual release. Well, actually, I've rewritten that in my head, so I'll say the actual words that is reported on. Call of Duty reportedly skipping annual release next year. There we go. But new free-to-play online title will plug the gap. So Call of Duty reportedly won't be getting a new mainline series entry in 2023, according to a new report, making this the first time in just under 2 decades the series hasn't had an annual release. This isn't the first time we've heard reports Activision has been considering ditching Call of Duty's yearly release schedule, but now Bloomberg's Jason Schreier claims it's a done deal, citing sources saying Activision executives made the decision to delay next year's title after a recent entry in the series failed to meet expectations. That's a long way to say Vanguard. Okay. Oh, there we go. Next paragraph actually says that. That's almost certainly in reference to Call of Duty Vanguard, which has seen notably lower sales compared to 2020's Black Ops Cold War, which was down 36%, which is huge, leading to declining year-over-year net bookings for the series, as per Activision's most recent financial report. Bloomberg sources added, quote, some executives believe Activision is introducing new versions too rapidly, end quote. As per Activision's usual rotating Call of Duty development schedule, Treyarch, the team behind Vanguard's multiplayer and zombies components, was working on next year's mainline series entry. The studio will reportedly now assist with the development of a new free-to-play online title being released next year to help fill the gap. Fill the new gap in Activision's 2023 lineup. It's currently unclear if this is the new Warzone experience, in quotes, Activision confirmed to be in the works earlier this month. At the time of its announcement, the publisher said the development was being led by long-term Call of Duty studio Infinity Ward, which is also handling this year's mainline series entry, a sequel to Modern Warfare, due to launch this autumn with a steady stream of content to follow, according to Bloomberg. Okay, we'll put a pin there. We'll put a pin. So big taste of news. Call of Duty, it's all going on and not going on at the same time. They have confirmed this year we will get Call of Duty Modern Warfare. They have confirmed also that there is a new version, a new experience coming to Warzone. Let's just call it Warzone 2 for ease of communication in this segment. So we have new Modern Warfare game coming this year. Warzone 2 coming sometime potentially this year. And they have ditched their annual release next year. Big changes. Big titles. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of... They're looking at the Warzone model, and it's been very fruitful for them. They're making a lot of money. The player base is technically getting stronger and stronger, as we may have indicated to yesterday. With the new cheat systems that are in place to try and protect players. So lapsed players who left because they was bored of getting cheated out of wins constantly, they're going to start to roll back now. And I feel like people have technically voted for their wallets with this to force Acti into changing their tactics and how they're putting games out. Because you never in a million years would have thought Call of Duty would skip a year. And yet here we are. We're waiting for that. They are now going to have a 2-year cycle for it. Well, particularly for this game, anyway. So I feel like Warzone has become their bread and butter, and I think that's a blatantly obvious thing to say. I don't think that takes a high IQ to work out. So it now doesn't surprise me, but I do think people not buying Vanguard has forced their hand to go, do you know what? It's the amount of money that we're going to be splashing out on this next game. What if people aren't ready to give up playing Warzone to come and play Vanguard or whatever the next version of the game is going to be? It's a difficult decision to make from their end because they have so many studios working on their games, but I think they need to look after their wallets, which have been filled up pretty quick and pretty often. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me, but genuinely, like 4 years ago, I never would have thought that this would have even been in consideration. But that's the power of battle royales, isn't it? If you keep on giving people content that people want to keep on playing, and eventually, what you're selling them at £60 becomes highly irrelevant. Yeah. You still there?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I may have muted myself while I was opening my brew, but it's fine. It's fine. I was saying it's interesting, but that's a word I use a lot. But it is interesting because battle royale is one component, and that is obviously, we say that to simplify it. It's a lot more than that. Battle royale has pushed the market into monetizing in different ways, because battle royale doesn't include new modes and new this, that, and the other, and so on. It's the same thing over and over again, effectively. And if you add in new functions, you risk upsetting the entire game. If you add a new overpowered weapon, you can upset the whole map, kind of thing. If you put a weapon in that's behind a paywall, then you change the whole game for everyone, those using the paywall stuff and those not using the paywall stuff. So let's say you add in the P90, which is the latest crate weapon that's been added to PUBG. You put that as DLC, as a way to make money off that game. Bibby picks it up and it's a laser beam, because he's got the DLC and I've not got the DLC. Well, he has a pay-to-win option that I don't, so they can't do that sort of stuff. So they've had to think of new ways to monetize the games that don't include maps, that don't include specific weapons and stuff like that. Just cosmetics and how we give that season passes, battle passes. So battle royale is the quickest way of saying it, but it's obviously the industry has evolved massively, and Call of Duty have gone. Actually, do you know what? Okay, it's easy for us to say 4 or 5 years ago, PUBG and Call of Duty weren't around. They weren't, not to the state that they are now. So 4 or 5 years ago, this was unthinkable. Call of Duty releasing, Call of Duty was in I'm going to be honest and say a little bit of a shit state for me. It might not have been for other people, but I wasn't interested in playing Call of Duty 4 or 5 years ago because it's dropped off. Now it's back again. So Call of Duty being back, that's partially because of that battle royale. They've ridden a crest and they're dropping off, and now they've gone, okay, we have matured in this space now, that we understand that what we've done before that's put us to this point, the 20 years of playing Call of Duty every year going, okay, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, blah, 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 doesn't work anymore. So we need to change that. And I am entirely for that, because that helps me stop the Call of Duty fatigue. And I get Call of Duty fatigue because I get a hint of a game that I like, Modern Warfare. I get that branching off into modes that I like, Warzone, and then they take 2 years of dropping it further and further away from where I want to be. Okay, you want to go back to the 80s for Black Ops? Well, not really. Okay, we understand that. That's fine. What about World War? No, I don't. You don't even need to specify a number. 1, 2, whatever. I'm not interested. Well, sorry, but that's here for the next year. So, yeah, basically 2 years of not for you, and then we'll come back. Whereas this Modern Warfare stuff is good for me. Maybe not for the people that want the Cold War and the World War II sort of vibes. But it gives the game time to mature. It's not just a boom. Okay, everything's about Modern Warfare. We fucking love Modern Warfare, and it's the end of the year. Okay, we love the Cold War. And it's like, I thought you liked Modern Warfare. Oh yeah, we do, but we're just not going to talk about or speak about it again because now it's all about this. And this gives them time to think of a concept, deliver it, figure out how they can build on it, and then iterate over at least an 18 to 24-month period before they then look at going, actually, we'll phase in something else. And I think skipping the annual releases gives them more time to bed stuff in, because it's all right having 3 studios. Okay, Infinity Ward, you're going to make a Modern Warfare game. Treyarch, you're going to do a Black Ops and Raven. Sledgehammer, you guys are going to do a Vanguard. And yeah, you're all working on them separately, but you also need to be able to plug them into each other like they're pieces of Lego. Yeah, but we've just done them all separately. We've built our own stuff, and they don't click together that easily, which we've seen. So now that's probably going to be a bigger thing. The fact that they've got 24 months and the other teams working on the other games around them, it will be easier for things to just slot in and future-proof themselves. So it's needed. It's needed. And all I'm saying is people like me and Bip, who for years have been saying, do you know what, we don't need a new shooter every year. We need an upgrade, some DLC or whatever. We don't need a new football game every year. We just need... It turns out we were right all along. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? So there you go.
Yeah.
I'd settle on one proper good game instead of 3 okay games. And I think that's it, Tito. Like... Call of Duty always does that. And I know I'm speaking from my own biases, which we all do in some way, shape or form. I'm a Modern Warfare fan, but you look at Call of Duty's biggest peaks, when it had its biggest multiplayer peak, was Call of Duty Modern Warfare to Modern Warfare 2. Yes, it did have a bit of a longer tail stuff through the Black Ops bits after that as well, but that was all built off the back of Modern Warfare success. Then it came back with Modern Warfare and Warzone, and a little bit of a scaled-down Black Ops. Black Ops 4 wasn't as turgid as some of the earlier Black Ops, but Black Ops and Blackout was a bit closer to Modern Warfare. So for me, that is where the user base wants them to go. So if they spend time building that out to be a great experience, rather than just rushing straight into another different game that studios only had 16 months developing, 9 months actually getting people to play it, kind of thing, it just screams of better experiences for the consumers. It's not just how can we rush out a game every 12 months, which is a pretty unfeasible task. That's why we have 3 different studios in 3 different places working on 3 different games at any one point in time, because getting one out every year is impossible. But we do it because we want the cash. So yeah, if they're not doing that, it'll be better for the people in the workplaces as well. Imagine if they're not having to crunch and rush shit out. There'll be none of this sort of QA stuff going, actually, do you know what? We had you working as Raven QA. Raven's not doing a game for 3 years now, so unlucky boys, get the fuck out of here. There'll be less of that stuff, less of the workplace pressure and stuff, so it wins all round. One studio doing single campaign, one focus on multiplayer, the other Warzone, but likely not enough money in that model. I mean, there could be. The only thing is having that in a structured way, because arguably those are 3 different games, even though it's obviously the same game, but those are 3 different elements within the game. And historically, they all get launched at the same time. So Warzone comes out alongside multiplayer, alongside the campaign. So if they all come out at the same time, everyone's building up to finish at the same time, which means you've got nothing staggered. So do you then start releasing that stuff separately? That sounds like it might be good on paper, but Halo dropped dropped a large number of its player base because it didn't have enough content at launch to keep people in. So the fact that co-op campaign and the Halo Forge modes and stuff weren't in Halo meant it dropped off because it didn't have enough stuff. So you need to have enough substance plus enough substance that then follows the initial substance. So yeah, it's difficult. Episodic campaigns as DLC can be successful, can also not be successful. Hitman did that stuff very well, as did Telltale Games, but obviously Telltale Games isn't around anymore because once people had a little bit of the episodic stuff, it became a bit of a chore to jump into the next one and to the next one and to the which is quite funny. People want the best stories all the time, but they don't want stuff all the time. And it's like, what do you want?
I want it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why Netflix releases. It's very rare nowadays that Netflix release stuff week by week, unless it's like hugely popular. They just release the entire series. Bam, it's there for you. Like, to be fair, the closest thing that I've come to recently is the new Kanye documentary. That's one a week. I genuinely didn't thought that would be the case, but normal TV series that they put onto Netflix, just boom, there you go. You can watch the whole thing right now if you really want
See, the only reason we're moving away from that is corporate greed. The reasons we move away from that, Disney are doing it, is because not corporate greed in terms of it's a bad thing, but if Disney put all episodes of The Mandalorian or Book of Boba or whatever on at one point in time, people can just wait until it's all out and then subscribe for 1 month. And some people do that, but some people will just go, oh, well, I'll subscribe when it comes out on launch day, be in the hype, and then yeah, okay, I don't have to renew it next month. But this way, the way they do it this way means that they get money in month 1 and at the end of month 2 as well, because people want to be in for the launch day hype and they want to see it every week as it's coming out. So there's that kind of element. Plus, there's the social boosting of having a new episode drop and having that conversation continuing over 6 to 8 weeks rather than just getting your big splurge in one window and everyone going, fucking Witcher 3's out this weekend. Woo! Okay, that was good. That was fun, buddy. So yeah, I'm a big fan of getting everything at once because it's just, it's that digital scarcity that doesn't need to be there. Oh, this week, next week. Yeah, but you literally can just put it out because everyone else has already seen that you can. I know, but
yeah,
but you know, we've got margins. I mean, just be honest then. So we would put it out next week, but this week, but we'll put it out next week because we want to earn more money. Oh, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
After the deal of acquisition from Microsoft, it may all change anyway, as they said it would take around 18 months. By then, Activision will be reporting directly to Microsoft, so perhaps there will be a big show. Ish. There was also a contractual agreement with PlayStation that Activision has to deliver the next 3 titles on PlayStation platforms. Obviously, Microsoft have then come out and said, we will go beyond that because we want to keep making titles. Oh, no, they confirmed to that, and then they said they plan to do stuff beyond that or something like that. So Call of Duty will release with console parity for this year, the new Warzone, and what was supposed to be next year's Warzone. If that's been skipped, that then makes you think, okay, does that mean PlayStation get held on for console parity for another year? Or have they gone, oh, well, we depends on the word in the contract, they could have been held in for a 2023 game, and if it didn't come out in 2023, Xbox could be like, oh, no. Well, you got every game that came out in 2023, which was no games. So, yeah, enjoy. So, I mean, they could be that. I mean, we don't know. But either way, I'm happy with this. Call of Duty, take time. Invest in your biggest ideas, your best ideas, your creative people, your best properties. Don't just shove down my throat another Call of Duty game because it's November again. Okay, Vanguard was decent. It was better than decent for me. I know a lot of people dislike it, but it was better than decent. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to do.
Yeah, same.
But I didn't necessarily need it shoved down my throat because I was still, at that point, I was just getting my head around, okay, fine, I will go play Black Ops Cold War. And then it was gone. It was like, oh, okay, bye. So you replaced one thing that I wasn't sure about with another thing that I wasn't sure about. So take time, let it develop, build it up, give me something that I feel like if I don't jump in now, I'm missing out on a couple of years worth of experiences rather than, okay, this experience before next year's experience come out. Because that's just, I don't feel like it's an event. I feel like it's just another episode rather than an event. Yeah. Anyway, move ahead. That was Call of Duty. It will be skipping 2023's Call of Duty release. Apparently, not confirmed. These are only rumors because it makes sense. It makes sense. Tell you what doesn't make sense. This. So the company behind Call of Duty, Activision Blizzard, says, well, they're in the news. This is Joshua Robertson at The Gamer, should I say. He says, law firm representing Activision Blizzard claims unions exploit employees who are whiners and complainers. That's a quote. The tagline says, the law firm also thinks that, quote, malingerer, end quote, is an acceptable word to use in 2022. Yay! It's not. Activision Blizzard, I mean, whoever wants to use the word malingerer anyway, get out of here. Anyway, Activision Blizzard employees have been sharing a bafflingly anti-union post from international law firm Reed Smith on Twitter today. The same law firm that is currently representing Activision Blizzard in the NLRB hearing between it and Raven Software's striking QA testers. The post in question details tips and tricks for employers on how to avoid unionization, but is now inaccessible, possibly due to the law firm removing it. Thankfully, People got their screenshots, should I say, with one incredibly out-of-touch screenshot making the rounds on Twitter. GWA and a better ABK founder, Jessica Gonzalez, shared the initial screenshot earlier today, which details what types of employees Reed Smith thinks unions exploit. The list in its entirety is as horrific as it is confusing, but the highlights accuse an employee that wants to unionize as being a whiner and a complainer, and lazy, non-productive, or inefficient, end quote. To truly propel the list into the realm of absurd, Reed Smith also uses bizarrely archaic language to describe unionized employees, claiming that they are malingerers, as well as footloose and fancy-free. As you might expect, Twitter has had a field day. As humorous as this might be, Activision Blizzard undoubtedly knew of this law firm's stance on unions before approaching them, and it's yet another grim reminder that the publisher is doing everything in its power to stop employees from unionizing. Activision Blizzard has engaged in multiple union-busting tactics over the past month, including separating agitated employees, moving them to different departments, and subjecting Raven Software's workers to anti-union propaganda. It's disheartening to see a publisher so adamant against granting its own employees better working conditions, but thankfully GWA isn't backing down without a fight. What's the fuck?
Where did they get this law firm from? The 1900s. Like, the language that they've used is bizarre. I genuinely had no idea what a malingerer was until this morning. I had to Google it. That just isn't in my vocabulary.
It doesn't surprise me that you didn't know, because if I had to paint you as a person, I would say you were a footloose, fancy-free malingerer. Myself, tell it how it's been. It's like it sounds like one of those like 1900s radio talk shows, like radio. Oh, do you know what? This is voice mod time. Get my voice mod ready. Where is it?
This is where it breaks the stream.
Yep, probably. Radio. Is it even here? Oh, there it is.
Hello, welcome to Blizzard Activision, where we hire you, our beautiful, non-footloose, non-fancy-free, non-lingering employees, and we keep you happy, and we keep our profits even happier. Let's go.
It's that sort of shit. When you read those words, you hear it in that sort of tone. Get out. Get out. Anyway, babe, thoughts?
Yeah, again, the anti-union propaganda that they've got around, I need to see. People inside there need to be taking pictures and sharing that, because I want to see what kind of posters they have on the wall as propaganda in there. Like, it's bizarre. I genuinely can't think of another word to describe it. Like, how can you be? Well, I know why. We all know why they're objectifying against it so hard, because they don't want people to have nicer working conditions and be able to say, no, I'm not going to be working 7 days this week. No, I am not going to be in the office for 14 hours. And no, you can't haggle my job over the top of me, despite me doing 40 hours extra overtime this week. So you understand why they're going to be doing it, and we understand why they don't want people to do it. But at the end of the day, like, it's all of this is just more and more evidence as to why they should be doing this in the first place. In terms of unionizing, it's that shit crazy, and I can't believe they've got away with it for so long.
I can, as far as I'll say with every bit of confidence that I have right now, I don't think anyone could ever convince me that unionization is a bad thing. I know some people have differing opinions, but from my perspective, so it's probably because I'm from a working class background. Working class people are usually the people that are stood on to elevate people that have all of the power and the funds and can just exploit people. Unionization helps put power in those that are less privileged. It puts power in their hands to allow them to go, actually, do you know what? We demand parity. We don't demand everything. We demand fair treatment, and that is where I stand with unionization. It's great for me, and I imagine I'm not saying that like I'm some radical. I imagine most people think that way. However, if you are a multi-billion-dollar corporation that has money and power, you don't want to give any of that power to your employees, because that puts more favorable stances on them. Like that, not that they don't want to look after their employees. No, it's not actually the case. What is the case is that they want to look after themselves. And if that means their employees are looked after, that's fine. If their employees are not looked after, but it looks after themselves, well, that's just par for the course. And that's where this situation comes in, because these businesses are basically going, do you know what? Unions come in and they make everything difficult. They slow it down. We'd usually do something, put it in place, and the union just makes us run around all the way around the houses. We have to tick all these boxes and stuff. And yeah, the boxes that you're ticking, that you're making sound like a chore, that relates to actual people, not numbers. That's actual things that need to be there. You just going, trust me, I'm going to look after you. But you haven't before. Why should I trust you now?
Yeah.
So
that's the thing, isn't it? Like, the reason why these are coming in the first place is because you haven't been there when the employees have needed you. Like you just said then, like we don't want them to come in because it will stop them from from us helping you. It's like, well, you've been taking advantage, which is why they're coming in to try and be on our side in the first place. Because no matter what it is, as employees, we try to do. You've not listened to us. You are taking advantage of us and our time. And ultimately, that's what you'd expect the unions to be able to come in and do. I understand from a HQ, from a HR department for the company that is going to be potentially taken over from unionizing, that they will have more restrictions and less places and times to intervene if they needed something. Like they would have to go, everything would have to be put through the union, which again will slow everything down. But ultimately, they are coming in to moderate your company because of the way that you've been treating your employees. And ultimately, if you don't have employees and you don't have a company, but we always know in video games, if one person leaves, it doesn't matter if they've had 40 years of service and they've been the most moral employee that you could have ever asked for. When that person leaves, another person is ready to come slip straight in, usually for a lesser salary as well, which is a massive thing for companies to try and save money. Might not have as much experience, but you're saving on the money, no worries. But yeah, that's what the unions are there to stop, to try and take advantage of.
Yeah,
you as employees.
The interesting thing is the word malinger, according to definition on Google, says this is a person that pretends to be ill or similar in order to escape duty or work. So you don't necessarily need to pretend to be ill in all. Basically, someone that is looking to use excuses to get out of doing work is what the definition of malingering is, or one definition. So they are saying these people are trying to get out of work. Ironically, we've already had it confirmed that these people that are striking are the people that have been put into crunch conditions. So these people are already working 2 to 3 times their fecking hours needed quite often. They are having family issues. They don't have enough money and all sorts of. So literally, these people are overworked and underpaid, but they are brandishing those people as being skivers. Exactly the opposite. That's like salt to the wounds. Not only are you taking the piss out of them financially and socio-economically, but you're also just labelling them shit in the process for saying that they don't like it. How do you sleep at night? Get the fuck out of here. The interesting thing Bib mentioned then, it was about like, they don't want people to unionize because they give them a bit more power. But if people start to leave and start to stand up, if it's only 1 or 2 of them, then it's not a problem. If it's everyone, then it's a big problem. And I'll give you a very deep example. I know this is very deep political, so you'll have to just bear with me a second. But have you ever seen the film A Bug's Life? So it's
only on the scoop.
So yeah, there you go. But that's basically what it is. You've got the grasshoppers, Hopper and the crew, that come along, and because they're big scary things, they oppress these ants into you do all of the work and bring us all the food. And then it's only when the ants realise that actually, do you know what? If we all stand together, yeah, one by one, they're going to squish us. But if all of us stand together, they ain't got no chance. And that's what unionisation is. It's effectively, but it's not to the point where unionisation shouldn't become imbalanced. Unionisation should be to the point where it creates parity. And obviously, the extreme version shown in Bug's Life, it's 1 minute the grasshoppers have all the power, and the next it's the ants have all the power. There is no parity in either situation, so neither one is real in that sort of sense. But that's not business; that's just people being abused. Anyway, you get the idea. But in business, there should be parity, and these fucking these law firms are coming in and basically saying that unions lead to that a Bug's Life situation where they just completely overthrow it and have no respect, and they're not here to listen, and they just want to take everything without doing anything. Bullshit. That's what it is. It's bullshit, mate. Good afternoon, says Gagad. Good afternoon. Good after morning. How are we doing, sir? The law firm is regarded as a union-busting law firm, so they knew exactly what they were doing. Exactly. They went after this law firm because they've got previous with taking unions down. I don't think they realised how vocal and how powerful the video games industry, and when I say industry, I don't just mean people that work in the industry. I mean that people that have an ear to the industry. You could just be a consumer and you listen. You could be listening to a podcast talking about it on twitch.tv/ice-cream-upwards. Let's go, BB. But people care enough to not just let this happen and not just to roll over. So this law firm have probably come out and gone, yeah, fuck. Do you know, we're so brazen about it. We will leave these articles calling people malingerers and stuff on the internet because people don't mess with us. And then suddenly you realise that one content creator can end your business if you piss the wrong person off in the wrong way. That's it. You could be blacklisted. So, oh shit, we better start. Scorched earth. Let's remove everything from the internet, mate. There's screenshots, there's videos, there's 12,000 podcasts already detailing it. It's not. It's too late. It's too late. So, it shits once again that this is something that Activision Blizzard have gone in for, which is another great reason for Xbox picking up Activision Blizzard, because you can guarantee law firms like, I don't know what the name was, and I'm not going to go and dig it out either because I don't feel like they deserve the airspace. That shitty law firm, that's what we'll refer to them as now. Xbox aren't going to keep them if that's the case. Xbox are going to yeet straight into the sun. So Xbox, get that purchase done. Nice. Get rid of those guys. Nice. And then we move on from there. Let's go. Can't wait for G to get a job on Newsnight. Politics explained in animation films. Well, I know my audience. I know my audience. If I'd have gone in full on deep political, then you guys would have either left or there would be actual smells of burns in like, what's that smell? It smells like plastics burning. You're trying to think. God damn, I'm joking. Just insult all the viewers. Well done. Let's go, Graham. Let's go. But yeah, it's not uncommon. My mum used to work for EDF and she had people constantly coming around telling her how bad unions were and they were just interested in taking employees' money. Don't get me wrong, unions aren't all bells and whistles. There's all sorts of stories about unions being politically motivated themselves to exploit workers and not really putting effort in so that workers are spending and not really getting what they need when they need it. So there are stories of that, but that's the same with any sort of space. You're entrusting the powers that be, and in any sort of space, the powers that be might be dickheads. So another technical term there. So you should try roll with it. So yeah. Anyway, okay, we'll move ahead. We will move ahead. Seeing as we're over time, so we'll definitely move ahead. Okay, the next article on your screen is this one. Bethesda is closing its PC game launcher and moving to Steam. Pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go through it quickly anyway. Tom Ivan at VGC says players have until May to migrate their games and wallet. So Bethesda has announced plans to close its PC games launcher and move its titles to Steam. Starting in early April, players will be able to migrate their games and wallet to a Steam account, with instructions on how to do so set to be published at that time. In an FAQ, Bethesda said purchasers will carry over to a Steam account and many game saves will also transfer, but some may require manual copying. Quote, at this time, we expect almost all save progress to be transferable automatically or manual, with the exception of Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is currently unable to transfer, it said. Starting in May, it will no longer be possible to access and play games within the Bethesda launcher, so the migration process will need to be completed before then. Many of the publisher's games and services will still require players to have a Bethesda.net account in order to retain access to things such as game mods and in-game items like skins. Games that have the Bethesda.net friends list will be merged after the migration. The move to Steam follows Microsoft's acquisition. Okay, fine. So yeah, if you've got Bethesda games on PC, move them to Steam. Get ready to migrate it all so that you've got everything still going. Is this a long time coming, or is this a Microsoft thing? What are your thoughts, Bib?
Not too sure, because I mean, this is going to make me sound stupid, because maybe I should have already known this, but Microsoft don't have a stake in Steam, do they?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I thought Steam was at the time. I don't think it is anymore. An independent storefront, which is obviously why like Origin and Ubisoft have all of their own different launchers. But it doesn't surprise me because when I go to play Elder Scrolls Online, or if I go to play Skyrim or something like that, it always seems to have gone through Steam anyway. Like when I load Elder Scrolls up, it actually boots up Steam, even if Steam's closed. So it doesn't surprise me that they're moving away from that because it felt weird having two launchers. It just everything's going to go through one place now, which, as someone who uses Steam frequently, Steam is my number one launcher. It's where I play probably 96% of my games. The other 4% being Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, it's very rare that I open any of the other ones. So yeah, Steam are a direct rival. Microsoft uses the Xbox launcher, says Show. Yeah, I thought it was a stupid statement to make, but I just needed to make sure that I didn't put my foot in. I thought I'd dip a toe in the water first before I said anything stupid.
See, I kind of feel like this is... The Xbox launcher isn't fully fleshed out yet, whereas obviously Steam is. That is the Maserati or whatever. Pick your phrase to say the big one, the one that everyone's aspiring to be right now. So I feel like they are moving to Steam. They could eventually go to Steam and then go, okay, we'll make it work on everything now. Or we'll even just go, yeah, you can launch this from your Xbox, but it might need some Steam authorization or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. But for the back catalogue, it's probably easier to just go, okay, we can plumb this into Steam easily for now, and we can get rid of the Bethesda launcher, and then every new game will work with Steam and the Xbox launcher until the point where it just goes to the Xbox launcher and they control their own destiny. I see this as a decluttering. Microsoft will have all of these games and all of these launchers, and it doesn't really want those. So if you go with first party only, so let's say Valve and Steam are the first party. That's Sony and PlayStation, but for PC. I know it's not. I know there's multiple different launchers, but let's just go with that. That way, they are getting rid of their publisher-developer launchers, the Bethesda launchers, the whatevers. We'll just then eventually get to the point where we just have Microsoft, PlayStation, Xbox. Microsoft, Steam, Xbox. Oh, fuck me. I can't figure this out. My brain's just completely blue screen. PlayStation, Steam, Xbox. There we go. And then eventually, okay, we are Xbox, so we don't really need Steam. So we will just whittle it down to just having our own kind of thing. I only mentioned PlayStation for obviously whole of market sort of approach. I know there's different, but you get the idea. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is them housekeeping, get rid of all of the stuff that has been done pre-us, and then we will just get to the point where we'll buy EA and we'll get rid of Origin and we'll buy Ubisoft and we'll get rid of Uplay or whatever it's fucking called. Switch. You gotta switch. So I won't be surprised if this is.
Jesus, that was a throwback.
Yeah, just a tad. Tito says, exclamation mark, Game Pass. Did you know that if you have an Xbox, you can get Game Pass, where for a low monthly fee of $10.99, you can get access to hundreds of games, including day one releases and even EA, Ubisoft, and Activision Blizzard games. Plus, you can even get the first 3 months for £1. Not quite flawless. I had at least 2 stumbles there, so I must do better. I'm not a fan of the Xbox launch. You can go on there and try to find a game, and you have no idea if it's PC or Xbox. I really struggle to navigate. I'm not a fan, and I'm a Microsoft fan, but I think you're right. I don't know which is worse, PlayStation UI or Xbox UI in that sort of sense. Most people tend to prefer the one that they use the most because they're more used to it. But if we're all honest, PlayStation and Xbox's UIs are garbage. PlayStation, I will give them their dues. On the PlayStation app, it's becoming significantly better. On the PlayStation console, which is the actual PlayStation, still terrible. So yeah, you're getting there somewhere. It's still a bit crap. Speaking of PlayStation,
got rid of like their 17 different apps, didn't they? And they've now just got one app.
Yeah, the PS app.
Hella helpful.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, you want to use this? You're on the PlayStation app. Oh, you want to speak to someone? You want to flick out to PlayStation messages. Yeah. And it's like, okay, all right. This is the PlayStation message app that you just come to from the PlayStation app. Yes, you need to log in. Yeah, but you sent me here. Okay, you need to log in, though. No, I've just been logged in. I've just literally logged in again on the other one. But you need to log in. Okay, great. You're speaking to your friend in this app, and he says that you should get this add-on for your game. Okay, I'll get that. You need that from the PlayStation Store. Okay, you need to log in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fun times. Anyway, speaking of PlayStation, March's PlayStation Plus games have been revealed early. This is written by Chris Scullion at VGC. Team Sonic Racing and Ark Survival Evolved may be on the way, according to a reliable leaker. So at least some of March 2022's free PlayStation Plus games have been teased early by a notoriously reliable leaker. Deal Labs user Bill Kun, who we've spoken about a few times, because we cover this almost every month when he leaks the games, who has accurately been leaking the PS Plus lineups every month since September 2021, was curiously absent last month. However, they have returned again this month with a more subtle way of seemingly confirming March 2022's titles. Instead of posting the list on the site's main deal pages as usual, they instead posted a more vague message in the site's forum. Quote, hello or good evening to all. They posted, I've been interested in Ark Survival Evolved and Team Sonic Racing recently, and I want to buy them to play on my PS5. Knowing that I don't really have any money, I'm hesitant to buy them. But hey, in the end, maybe I'll wait until the beginning of next month. End quotes. If the hint is legitimate, this means Ark Survival Evolved and Team Sonic Racing will both be made available on PS Plus from March the 2nd when the current games are removed. Let's stop there. You get the idea. Okay, I want to say Free Game Wednesday, but hashtag Free Game Wednesday with a question mark at the end. Free Game Wednesday. This is almost like someone has been, okay, you stop fucking leaking our games or we are taking you down. So this guy's not leaked the games. Maybe if I was to buy something and it was free, then maybe I should wait until it's free. Like if it was free, we know what you're saying, but we know what you're not saying as well.
Yeah.
Baffled. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to playing Team Sonic Racing forever. And when I say looking forward to, I mean, if I ever got round to it. I do love a good kart racer. And I actually remember watching a Sidemen video on this maybe about 3 years ago. And it just looked like Mario Kart with Sonic. And again, kart games, I absolutely adore them. So I need to see what we've got going on here. Because again, this could be one of those that it could lead to having a community night because everyone can play it, which is quite nice. But Lost Ark, never played it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's called Lost Ark, isn't it?
Ark Survival Evolved. Not Lost Ark's a different game.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's the one that's just come out. Sorry, Ark Survival Evolved. I think I remember Cobra and Beans playing this like religiously. Like they didn't come off this game for months and months and months. So again, it's probably like DayZ, but in the dinosaur times.
Yeah.
So it should speak to me if I get round to playing it. But will I be adding them to my library next Tuesday, Graham?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Goddamn right. Yeah, Ark, if it's the one I remember, it's survival-y sort of thing with dinosaur stuff, but I might be getting it mixed up. Is that the one where you basically start off and you can pick up a brick and then use a brick to smash down a tree and then you change the tree into arrows and stuff? So there's lots of crafty stuff in it. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up with something else. But
sounds familiar.
But it's a game that I've been interested in, but it's a game that I'm just like, do you know what? I'm not interested enough to throw the money down. So the fact that it's free on PS Plus, okay, win-win. If I ever do get interested enough to try it, I can do now. It will be in my library, sat there waiting for me, and we can jump in whatever. Nice.
Yeah.
There's a real UI problem, which, considering it's Microsoft and that's their thing, is poor. Yeah, it's same thing with PlayStation though. I mean, these guys have been making experiences for 30 years. I mean, obviously longer than that, but the whole thing about a console is the experience. I mean, okay, the first Xbox and the first PlayStation, you've never really done this before. Well, that's fine, we get it. But then by the time you're at PS3, you're like, okay, surely you should have this nailed down. UX and UI should be like second nature to you. Like when they understand UX from a development perspective. You get Mark Cherney and co stood on stage going, "Oh, we've decided to use this sort of way of encoding the gigawatts and the Hujima flips so that the developers can maximize the traced rays and stuff like that." Yes, and it's like they understand that. Okay, we're improving this process to make it easier for the developers, but literally the same approach to menus. How can you make it easier for users? Well, first of all, we are going to change the button usage, the main button for turning off your PlayStation. We're just going to flip that completely around with something else. All right, that sounds a bit odd. And if you're in Japan, we're just going to change two buttons around as well. The main two that you use, because Nice. Fuck! So, yeah, fun times. I mean specifically the PC Xbox app. I just want to search for a game and choose I want to... Oh, no, I get that. Yeah. So... Tito basically saying on the Xbox PC app that it doesn't specify specifically if it's an Xbox or a PC game. So if you want one or the other, you have to do the manual searching yourself, which is how all good things work, right? Nope. Arky's okay if into that sort of game. I'm not. Get bored of having no specific objectives. Yep, dinosaurs and graphics that make PUBG look ray traced.
That's what I was tickling at before. It's brilliant.
Touche. Speaking of fair play. That's it. We're done. Fair play, boys. Thank you very much for joining us for yet another episode of The Scoop. We are going to disappear. As mentioned at the start of the show, we're going to drop a raid on Big Ham. That's Big Hamish 88 because he is celebrating his Hamiversary. His 1 year on Twitch today. We're going to drop a raid on him, so do feel free to drop in. He is a good way through a 12-hour stream. He started at 9 o'clock this morning. He'll be finishing at 9 o'clock tonight, whilst streaming with us. So we're going to drop in a raid, but we'll be joining him in some games of PUBG tonight as we go chasing crates with mates. That's me and I Lotus UK when I say we. Obviously, do feel free to join us then. We'll probably have some other buddies jumping in around. Ham might have someone dropping in with us, so yeah, do feel free to join us then. Before any of that happens, though, before we go off, before we come back playing PUBG, before we raid Ham, is there anything else that you'd like to add, Mr. Pip?
Yes, again, thank you very much for joining us for Wednesday's edition of The Scoop. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I need to be looking at this one. If you want to help shape the last two shows of the week, there is two ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discords. If you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, look in the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there for you, but all we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Well, will be at 10 a.m. Ish. Yeah, 10 a.m. ish. We go live at 10 a.m. ish. Well, we aim for 10 a.m. It's often a lot later because we work in the video games industry, and when work's busy, then the streams are a little bit delayed. It just is what it is. So yeah, do stick around. We're going to drop a raid on Big Hamish 88. Drop in, say hello. You don't even have to stay around for too long if you don't have the time. Just drop in, say hello. Is like I say, a good chunk of the way through a 12-hour stream. So it's a nice little boost to give a little bit of a nod. Streamer sees a new name in his chat. It's nice. Do that. 12 p.m. English time, so stays bad. Yeah, something like that.
Somewhere.
So yeah, thank you very much for joining us for today's stream. We are going to throw at the end slate. Stick around for the raid, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of The Scoop. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day. Stay frosty.